Good morning, allegedly squad, the daily members. Thank you for joining me. In today's video, I have some incredible stories, but first, I want to tell you how much I love Bitcoin. Bitcoin is amazing. It's being adopted by institutions. Elon Musk absolutely loves. Hold on, I'm getting some news. Hang on a second. Yes, news are just in. Elon Musk does not love Bitcoin anymore. In fact, he just assassinated it on Twitter. A lot to talk about. I'm going to cover Elon Musk, his tweets, what's actually going on behind the scenes. Also, we got an amazing interview from Henry Rawlinson, the CEO and founder of Lucid, embarrassing himself, in my opinion, on television. Also, Jim Cramer is opening up a new beef with Cathie Wood, calling her names. Believe it or not, I'm not even lying. Kevin O'Leary apparently predicted this move by Elon about 2 weeks ago. I'm going to play you that clip which I dug up. As well as, speaking of Kevin, he just bought $6 million worth of Palantir stock during the dip, which is actually very interesting. A lot to cover. As always, don't click nothing, don't smash nothing, don't subscribe, don't buy nothing. Just give me your attention for the next 5 minutes and I'm going to give you the most interesting stories from the stock market. Speaking of, my name is Tom. I used to be a former senior financial analyst. I just punched my chair, but now I'm a full-time YouTuber here to bring you the most interesting news from the stock market, and let's just get started. First of all, we absolutely have to talk about Elon killing Bitcoin. Now, I just said killing with such a Russian accent. I can't believe it, but it is what it is. Now, the whole story actually started yesterday. Elon put out this tweet about 12 hours ago saying Tesla and Bitcoin, and then there was an image attached that pretty much had text saying, Tesla has suspended vehicle purchases using Bitcoin. We're concerned about rapidly increasing use of fossil fuels for Bitcoin mining and transactions, especially coal, which has the worst emissions of any fuel. Cryptocurrency is a good idea in many levels, and we believe it has a promising future, but this cannot come at a great cost to the environment. Tesla will not be selling any Bitcoin, and we intend to use it for transactions as soon as mining transitions to more sustainable energy. We're also looking at other cryptocurrencies that use less than 1% of Bitcoin's energy/transaction. And just about an hour ago, he tweeted out this from cbeci.org. By the way, he collapsed the website. It's down. Nobody can get in. Energy usage trend over the past few months is insane. He followed it up with this image, basically showing what went on from 2016 all the way to today as far as energy consumption from Bitcoin mining, which seems to be very parabolic. Now, here's the thing. Let me clarify a few things here because this is getting out of hand. Video game enthusiasts and MMA fans will know exactly what just happened. We had a great combo. A left hook followed by an uppercut. Elon took 2 shots and absolutely killed Bitcoin and took every other cryptocurrency down with it. Now, first of all, I'm sure a lot of people will come out from their holes essentially hating Elon. You're going to see a lot of pitchforks, a lot of torches. Essentially, all the Bitcoin community, cryptocurrency community is basically going to be disengaging from Elon, saying he's a hater and whatnot. He's a hypocrite. He's a hippopotamus. I can say hippopotamus. And anyway, that's probably what's going to happen. He's going to catch a lot of flack for saying that. However, let's put things in proportion. First of all, he's not going to be selling any Bitcoin. By the way, I don't think he can. If he sells some Bitcoin after all the hyping he's been doing, he might get in trouble with the SEC. So not sure how long this will last, this Bitcoin hold, but he's definitely in the trenches with this one. He can't really sell. And by the way, shout out to Patrick Boyle, who actually broke this down to me on Twitter a few minutes ago. Very interesting discussion. Go check out his channel. Link is going to be below. So he's not going to be selling any Bitcoin, so nothing dramatic happened here. However, I want to just caution you a little bit about what's going to happen. A lot of people will be reading the statement because if you take a look at the actual statement, it says that they're going to be exploring less energy consuming coins. I'm going to read you the exact quote. It's essentially, Tesla will not be selling any Bitcoin and we intend to use it for transactions as soon as mining transitions to more sustainable energy. We are also looking at other cryptocurrencies that use less than 1% of Bitcoin's energy and transaction. Now, a lot of people will be jumping into conclusions way too early about stuff like Ethereum or Doge. So what's going on here? So I think a lot of people will be speculating with all these altcoins because he did say they're exploring new alternatives with less energy consumption. So I'm sure a lot of people will be talking about Ethereum and the changes that Ethereum is going through as far as energy consumption. A lot of people will be talking about Doge because he did post a poll a few days ago asking people on Twitter if they want Tesla to accept Doge as payment for cars. Not sure how serious that poll was. That might have been just a joke. I honestly don't know. The thing with Elon, he's as crazy as they come. So that thing might have been real. It might have been not. It's essentially a crapshoot. There's a 50% chance that that was actually serious or not. Nobody knows. Now, I don't think you should go crazy about the statement in any capacity. As far as what's the future of Bitcoin, I don't think this statement changes in any way, shape, or form the future of cryptocurrency and Bitcoin. The same factors still are in play. Altcoins are dangerous. Bitcoin and Ethereum are the least dangerous of them. And I think they do have a massive future ahead of them as far as their play in our economy. So I'm definitely still long-term bullish on Bitcoin. Nothing has changed. However, that doesn't mean we won't see a massive dip even further in Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, because if you notice, Bitcoin is kind of like a magnet. When it goes down, it pulls everybody down with them. Like a guy who's like, I'm not going to go down myself. I'm taking you all with me to jail. So see, Ethereum, Ripple, Doge, everything's going down. However, in the long run, whatever needs to happen with cryptocurrency will happen regardless of this tweet. This tweet changes nothing, good or bad. So if you were long on Bitcoin and crypto before, this doesn't change nothing. If you were hating or shorting, whatever you want to call it, that doesn't change nothing. So I guess the bottom line here is that the sky aren't really falling. If you're a fan of Bitcoin, nothing changed. If you don't like Bitcoin, nothing changed. What's interesting that a few days ago, Kevin O'Leary went on TV, I believe it was Yahoo, and he was talking about the fact that Bitcoin and renewable energy is the next thing. He was essentially saying, well, I don't think people will be accepting Bitcoins that are not from renewable energy. So I'm going to be starting up this whole new trend. We're going to be loading up on Bitcoin that was mined with renewable, responsible energy.
There is a big problem brewing in this space because I've mentioned this a couple of times. When I disclosed that I was moving to 3% weighting, I got a mountain of calls from institutional investors saying, wait a second, where are those coins from? And I said, well, I mean, everybody knows you can tell the time of creation, but you can't tell location of creation. Because currently 60% of coins mined in Bitcoin come from China, where they don't care about sustainability and they certainly have issues around human rights. And so there are many institutional clients that do not want to own so-called blood coin from China. And as a result, we've got a really interesting situation emerging that, the actual provenance of a coin over time, one that's mined sustainably, one that's mined in a jurisdiction that supports human rights and everything else, the ethics committee's approval could be worth more than just a generic coin that can't prove its provenance. And I'm not sure when that's going to happen, but I have certainly shifted my holdings. I don't own random, ETFs with blood coin in them. I know the provenance of where my wallet coins were mined now, and that means I've had to take equity positions in miners. I've had to start investing in them.
And for the next story of the day, we got Henry Rawlinson going on CNBC and make a fool of himself, allegedly, in my opinion. And like everything here, it is just my opinion. Might be inaccurate, might be wrong, might be the ramblings of a madman. You gotta do your own research, allegedly. Blah, 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 effing blah. Let me play you the clip and I'll tell you what I think about this interview.
Peter Rawlinson is the CEO of Lucid Motors and a former Tesla engineer. Peter, thanks for being back with us. Give our audience an update on production and supply chain and whether you're still on track to hit the targets that you laid out previously, more than 20,000 vehicles in 2022 and 10 billion in revenue in 24.
So very much on track for start of production of what I hope will be an outstanding product in the second half of this year.
Right, Peter, start of production, but are you on track for 20,000 vehicles in 2022?
We're very much on track for our plan. We're aiming for over 577 vehicles this year and a significant increase throughout next year as we grow the business.
Okay, but you won't repeat that 20,000 number. I'm noticing, Peter. Are there some hesitations around that? Is there any reason to think that you might not be able to hit that number that you laid out?
I'm very optimistic about our future potential for manufacturing. We're going to start production this year in second half. We're predicting 577 vehicles this year and significant growth next year.
And here's why I think that this interview was as embarrassing as they come. Because he was asked Mickey Mouse questions. And here's the problem. Dodging questions is much worse than admitting that you're not going to perform up to par. Just say it. Hey, I'm not sure. I don't know. We made those projections back in the day. Not sure. were much more committed to quality than to meeting some number. Essentially, he could have said, we'd rather put out half the amount of cars, but make them quality rather than hit that number. So I can't commit to that. Instead, he was just repeating himself like a robot, essentially ignoring her question, which is the worst thing you can do. And the reason it's so shocking to me that this actually happened, because I think it's a good company with a good CEO, with a good product, with a very interesting concept. Why would you dodge these things? That's a rookie move. So embarrassing, very disappointing. Let's see what happened. For the next story of the day, we got Kevin O'Leary again with another cameo. Not that cameo. By the way, he's on that cameo as well. You can get him to play you a song and sing you a happy birthday, whatever. Now, Kevin O'Leary spoke on CNBC. He participated in the stock draft. He picked Palantir as one of his 2 stocks. And he said that it's an amazing stock, whatever. Now, it seems that he's walking the walk. O-Shares, which is his company, just purchased $6 million worth of Palantir stock, 283,000 shares and change of Palantir, almost 284. That means that he actually believes in the company enough to put in a couple million. Not a huge investment. This isn't Cathie Wood with 2.8 million shares, but hey, he's walking the walk. And speaking of Cathie, you can't let a good crisis go to waste, and Jim Cramer is right on that bandwagon of people hating on Cathie. 2020, Cathie Wood is the best thing since sliced bread. 2021, mainstream media actually hates Cathie, and you can trust Jim. He's going to be jumping on that bandwagon. And as long as it's not Bear Stearns, which he recommended literally days before they went out of business, I'm not saying that. Jon Stewart actually proved that. We can show you that clip, but I'd rather not. In any case, so Jim Cramer is a populistic entertainer, and that's fine. And I think that him calling Cathie Wood names and calling her ETF Wood stocks is entertaining and it's funny and it's not a huge deal. I'm not sure she's even familiar with this, but he was actually saying something really interesting, which I think should not be taken out of proportion. He was saying, well, now it's not a good time to trade these stocks she has in her ETF. We're rotating, we're cycling, whatever. Now, here's why I think both of them might be right, because Jim Cramer is thinking like a trader. He's thinking, okay, which stocks I want in my portfolio today so they can outperform for the next 3 months. Cathie Wood is thinking in a 5, 6, 7 years span, so she doesn't really care about that. So what you have here is almost like a scene out of a Fellini movie. You have 2 people arguing about 2 different things on 2 different languages when they can't see or hear each other. He's talking about trading and she's talking about long-term investing. That's why I think this argument is completely cacophonic as hell, which is amusing. Good TV. And as always, a huge thanks for the channel members and the Patreons for making this possible. Thank you so much. By the way, this shirt is available in the merch store. Go get it. Low quality, high prices, just the way we like it. We'll see you guys in the next video.